Hi, should be live now, hopefully. Excuse my helmet hair if there's helmet hair. I wanted to let you guys all know why there is not a video being uploaded today. I was really hoping that there was gonna be. It was actually going to be a microphone related video, and sadly enough, there was tons of issues with all of the microphones that recorded. I had 3 different microphones that were recording, and pretty much each one of them had an issue during the recording, which was super annoying. I'm not sure why, but I need to refilm that video, so it was kind of frustrating to see that video basically went kaput. But I do have some videos coming up. I want to record a video today about the Mavic Mini, and that should be up Thursday, Friday-ish. If you want some Mavic Mini content, I did upload a video last Friday, and a lot of people didn't know that I uploaded then because it's not to my typical schedule of pretty much every Wednesday. So yeah, if you're interested in Mavic Mini videos, definitely go check that out. But as far as future videos go, I'm also going to be checking out this board, which was in the thumbnail. And this thing has been pretty phenomenal. As a lot of you guys know, or maybe a lot of you don't know, boosted boards, one of the leaders in the boosted, or not boosted, in the electric skateboard and electric longboard industry, they have recently went out of business, and they were bought out by Lime, which is a company, if you don't know, that allows for renting scooters in basically typically large cities. And yeah, they don't really have any intentions of continuing on the boosted board brand. So this board is, first of all, a cheaper board than any boosted boards pretty much, and also it has a insane amount of specs that have blown me away, and they have been pretty fantastic. So it is, I won't give you the specific name. If you want to look it up, you can probably find it, but the review covering this board will come out soon. And just to give you a little bit of an idea of what I mean by the specs being crazy, first of all, it has a top speed of 29 miles an hour. It allows you to, through its app, adjust the acceleration and braking curves, which is pretty unseen for boosted boards. You don't see that anywhere. So you can adjust how quickly you get off the line when accelerating, which is pretty awesome, and the braking as well. I know a lot of people typically are interested in the Amish that are around me, and they're always like, what is that? Is that a carriage and horse? Yes, it is. They're called Amish people, and they live all around me. Yeah, so an upcoming review will be coming out about this board. If you have any questions about it, make sure to let me know here in this live stream or in the comments below this video. I'm not sure I have too much more to say in regards to that, so I'm going to open it up to some Q&A. You can have them about drone questions. They could be live questions. It really doesn't matter, but I was going to do a quick little Q&A so then this live stream is a little bit longer. So if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. Also, sorry, but if you are spamming, you're going to go into timeout. But yeah, so first of all, were you in Arizona recently? Yes, that is where I filmed my Mavic Mini review, as well as the helicopter video, where a helicopter basically came out of nowhere and I had to avoid it, and that was pretty sketchy. But if you haven't seen that video, that was pretty crazy. That was also filmed in Arizona, and it was really fun to be in Arizona. That was my first time ever being in Arizona. It was beautiful landscapes, and it made for some fantastic places to film with the Mavic Mini, and pretty much every camera actually, but the Mavic Mini was my everyday carry there while I was flying around. How much is it? I'm going to assume you're meaning about the board. The board retails for, I think, $10.99, but it's pretty much always on sale for $7.99. So it's like one of those deals where, like, you go to Kohl's and they act like their clothes are super expensive, but they actually just have it on sale all the time. It's kind of one of those deals, I feel like. But so this board specifically runs for $7.99, and so that is quite a lot cheaper for comparable board that you would have gotten from boosted boards, which I know boosted boards were absolutely blown out of the water as far as how expensive all their boards were anyways in the first place. I'm not saying their boards were cheap by any means. In fact, they were some of the more expensive boards on the market. But this one, in comparison to the boosted Stealth, for example, which has pretty similar specs as far as the speed goes, it is very, very well priced, especially for its performance. And this is a belt-driven system. I don't know if you're going to be able to see necessarily. I can't even tell where I'm pointing. Nope. It is a belt-driven system. Can't tell if you can see that, but it's belt-driven. But a cool thing about the board is that you can go and change out the belt drive system to a hub motor system, literally with just swapping out the trucks. So that's something that I haven't seen in any other boards, and so that's pretty cool. I'm not sure why you want to switch between the two, but if you want to, that is there. So yeah, there's a little bit more information about the board. But like I said, I will be talking a lot more about the board in an upcoming video, hopefully within the next 2 weeks or so. I began the video but haven't been able to finish it because I wanted to give it some time of being able to ride around on the board in order to get some full opinions on it. Coming from the Netherlands, Drone Viral said that. That's pretty cool. Thanks for... Oh, come over to the Netherlands. So you live in the Netherlands. You want me to... Yeah, that would be... I've always wanted to go more outside the United States because I typically travel within the US, and so that does get a little old after a while, and I'd love to visit places like the Netherlands someday. But of course, yes, after the... I'm going to wait for this to pass. Northern Indiana, y'all. But yes, of course, as soon as Corona passes, that would be a fun place to go and travel to. More questions. Let's see. You bought the Mavic Mini because of my videos. That's pretty cool. Hey, you should do best accessories for the DJI Phantom 3. That would probably be a good idea. I have amassed a decent amount of accessories over the years. I don't really fly the Phantom 3 standard anymore, other than if I want to use it in a video. So sorry if that upsets you, but I do not really fly it too much anymore. So yeah, but that would be a good idea to do that, because I'm sure there would still be people interested in that, because the majority of the audience here is probably pretty interested in Phantom 3 videos. Is that an old billboard behind you? It is not. It is, funny enough, I am just out in a random field right now, sitting along the edge of the road, which is why there was that, the tractor that just went by and the buggy, but it's just like an electrical panel board. So I apologize for how bad the wind is. I hope you guys have been able to hear me at least a decent amount throughout this stream, but if not, then RIP audio. So yeah, so no, not a billboard, but that's what that is. Central Nebraska. Everybody, just comment right now. Where are you watching this from? It's super cool to hear how broad the audience is, but any other questions? If there's not many other questions, I might... Netherlands. You're from Arizona. That's cool. Do you have any specific part of Arizona that you recommend going back to? I went to Phoenix when I visited, of course. It's a big city, but if you have any recommendations, let me know, because I'd like to go back. Frederick MD. Interesting. I'm watching from the UK. Oh my word. That buggy just had a horn on it. Of all things, a buggy with a horn? That's interesting right there. LA. Fun. I'm from Indiana, as I've already said, but if you didn't hear that, that's where I'm from. It's interesting here. It's not super interesting for flying drones, but you can get some interesting content out of it, I suppose, depending on where you are. Anyways, back to questions. If you have any other questions, let me know right now, because I'm going to probably cut this stream off within the next 5 minutes, so it's not any longer than 15 minutes. So if you have any other questions, let me know. Mount Lemon, Arizona, everything recreational, super cool. That sounds interesting. I'll have to look that up after the stream. Do range tests. Okay, so this is kind of a debatable topic. It's actually not really debatable, but a lot of people have asked me about this before, and I have done a Phantom 3 standard range test video before. However, I did that back when the FAA wasn't super strict about a bunch of drone regulations and whatnot. So I did that back then. Now the FAA is quite a bit more strict, and being a Part 107 holder, I'm not wanting to go and lose my license for doing dumb things. So things like doing a range test isn't the most wise thing, especially with the Mavic Mini, because the Mavic Mini is so small. It's incredibly difficult to go and see in the sky while you're flying. Now, there are a couple ways that I could get around doing that. If I had a spotter who was following the drone the entire time that I was flying away, or yeah, that's pretty much my only way that I could do that. But you know, people do get away with stuff like that, and you can do it, but you also can't do it. Like, for me, posting it online, like, that's just completely unwise. Yes, you may not get a slap on the wrist if you're doing it and you're not publishing it anywhere and nobody knows you do it, but obviously that's just like breaking the law when nobody's watching. So will I ever do a range test on the Mavic Mini? Probably not, unless I am in the right scenario where I can have somebody follow the drone and see where it is at all times, so I don't get into any trouble with that. So yeah, if you've ever been interested in a Mavic Mini range test, and the reason why I haven't done one yet, that is the reason why. I did a range test and got 4 miles with the Mavic Pro and came back with 1% battery. So I was, wow, that is cutting it quite close, but that's pretty crazy. The farthest I've ever flown with the drone was my range test with the Phantom 3 standard. Glad you're in an area where you can fly. I haven't flown since mid-March due to the stay-home in LA land. Totally agree with your comments on the range test and then posting. What do you mean about posting, Tony? As far as not being able to fly, that really stinks. You can't even go outside your back door and fly. I mean, maybe your area where maybe where you're living is like a no-fly zone or something. Where I live, it's pretty much you can fly everywhere, because there's literally no airports near me, and there also is not crazy airspace. So it's pretty easy for me to fly, but it does stink in some places, I suppose. Maybe what you mean by posting is as far as what's coming up. If you didn't catch it, I already talked a little bit about what is coming up at the beginning of this stream. So if you watch it back later after it's rendered through YouTube or whatever, it should be fine, or you should be able to find it then. You can do a range test at a beach. Not necessarily. I mean, doing it at a beach would be safer, because you wouldn't have the issue of it falling down onto land and hitting people or cars or buildings if you did it over the ocean. But just because it's there doesn't mean you can do a range test necessarily. Like, you have to maintain visual line of sight with your drone at all times, or have another person who is your spotter to do so. If you're here right now, you're awesome. You should give this stream a thumbs up, because it's only got 4 right now. Let's see how many likes we can get before I end it off. But I'm going to end it soon, so it is not too long, like I mentioned. I'll end it off with let's do 3 more questions. Where is the prettiest place you've ever been? The prettiest place I've ever been is probably... I've been to a lot of pretty places. I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Barbados, which is a place in the Caribbean. I've been to a couple places in Mexico. Prettiest place I've ever been, though, was probably Barbados. Like, that was a gorgeous trip. I went with my family, and it was a part of my dad's work. It was a work trip, but for the family, we were able to go and hang out and enjoy our time there, and it was absolutely beautiful there. I wish I would have had a drone back then, but I was probably like 11 when we went to Barbados, so I did not have one then. Uploading to YouTube. Live in Santa Monica and no area to really fly close. 50 foot above ground level is max altitude according to air maps. Ah, that stinks. Yeah, times like that really does stink to not be able to fly. Like I said here, it's like pretty much open everywhere, which is great, but it's not super interesting landscape. So there is the loss there of, even though I can fly, it's not super interesting. Hey, Liberty. I'm going to do a backflip. That would be interesting. Do I still have my Mavic? Yes, I have the Mavic Pro Platinum as well as the Mavic Mini, of course. That's the one that's been showing up in a lot of my recent videos, but I do still have the Mavic Pro Platinum. However, I've been heavily considering selling that in exchange of purchasing the new Mavic 2 Air, or Mavic Air 2, whichever way it is. Why is DJI not consistent? I don't know. So yeah, I do still have it. I'll probably sell it for the Mavic 2 Air, but I have not done that yet. Final question. Let's see if there are any other questions even. Most of these are statements, which are fine. You should try to get your hand on a DJI Inspire. That'd be great. If there's any viewers out there like Ken Heron's viewers who wants to just send me a Inspire for some reason, definitely do that. I am willing to accept your gift. And you should do a room tour. You know, that would be an interesting one, but my room right now is pretty messy, mostly because I'm in between moving my stuff out of my dorm room at college and moving it back home. And it's really annoying because my college has locked up, basically they've locked up my stuff in the dorm rooms because of coronavirus and not being able to, oh geez, I said the word. Hopefully I don't get demonetized. You know, the virus, since that, I am not able to go back and grab my stuff from my dorm room. So I have a lot of my stuff stuck in the dorm room, so that's a little bit upsetting. But as soon as that's done, maybe I'll be able to have my room a little bit more clean since I'll have all my stuff and organization stuff, so it's not so messy. But with that being said, I haven't seen any other questions pop up, so I think I'm going to end this off. I want to thank everybody who stuck around and watched this, especially if anybody's on here who started watching from the beginning. You guys are awesome. Again, give this stream a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Also subscribe if you're new and you haven't seen my channel before. And if you'd like to see future videos, hit that subscribe button. There will be a video coming up very soon. I hope by Friday there should be a Mavic Mini video. So yeah, look out for that. And if you haven't, follow me at carsonmtech on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Reddit. There's a Reddit that is /carsonmtech. I don't use Reddit enough, but yeah. So with that being said, that is it for this stream. Thanks all for watching. Hope to see you in future videos and future live streams.